What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back. And today, we now know the NBA Finals will be happening between Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder, now that both teams have advanced from their respective conference finals to the NBA Finals. And I want to talk about how this would not be possible without Paul George. And you might be thinking, like, what does Paul George have to do with this? He's on neither of these teams. You're right. And that's why he has so much to do with it. Because let's go all the way back, right? So Paul George was drafted by the Indiana Pacers back in the 2010 NBA draft. And he was later traded from the Pacers to the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2017. And so that trade consisted of Paul George going to the Thunder, and the Pacers received Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis, right? So that was a big trade at the time. Paul George was, basically a budding superstar player at that point in time. Goes to Oklahoma City, and he was only there for like a year, right? He was only there for a year, and then he went to the Clippers. But he got traded by the Thunder to the Clippers, and that trade basically brought about a lot of what makes up Oklahoma City's roster now, right? So that trade from OKC to the Clippers occurred on July 6th, 2019, and the Clippers received Paul George, and the Thunder received Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who was just coming off of his rookie season, Danilo Gallinari, and 5 first-round picks. And then they also got swap rights to another 2 first-round picks. So basically 7 first-round picks for Paul George. And they also got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is, now the reigning NBA MVP. So wild trade. And so some of those picks turned out to be really good players, right? Obviously, some of these did not stay with the Thunder, like the pick in 2021 went to Miami. That was Jaime Jaquez Jr., so good player. The pick that stayed with the Thunder, though, that they did not trade, was their 2022 12th pick, which came from the Clippers, which was used to select Jalen Williams, who was an all-star this season. So the Thunder really came out, great here. And so the Thunder also got the Clippers pick this season. They have swap rights to that pick. So now let's talk about the Pacers, right? But I think you can see from that how Paul George played a very big role in creating the Oklahoma City Thunder team as it is today, right? And shout out Sam Presti for just being a savant. The dude is the best GM in basketball, no doubt in my mind. The dude is just all time. So shout out Sam Presti, right? But so if you remember from that trade in 2017 that sent Paul George to the Thunder from the Pacers got back Domantas Sabonis, right? So Domantas Sabonis was later traded along with Justin Holiday and Jeremy Lamb in a 2023 second-round draft pick. I'm not sure who that pick turned out to be. He was traded for Tyrese Haliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. That was a trade between the Pacers and the Sacramento Kings. So Domantas Sabonis winded up in Sacramento. Tyrese Haliburton ends up in Indiana. So you can see how Paul George, dating all the way back to 8 years ago in 2017, with the Pacers getting Sabonis, and then later using Sabonis to trade for Tyrese Haliburton, who is now basically the star of the show in Indiana. You can see how much Paul George had to do with this. I just think it's funny, right? It's so interesting to me how something that happened 8 years ago basically changed, the outcome of history for these two teams, right? Because when Paul George got traded from the Pacers, I think everybody was kind of like, all right, probably gonna be bad for a little bit, and they weren't great, right? And then they traded Domantas Sabonis and got Tyrese Haliburton, and it took them a little bit to really get up to where they needed to be, but man, It's crazy. And the Thunder fleeced in this situation. I mean, to basically trade Paul George for 7 first-round picks. Not to mention, you also trade Paul George for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is a 30-plus points a night type of guy. The guy reminds me so much of Kobe. To get an MVP, a future MVP, and 7 first-round picks is insane. So, if I'm Paul George, I'm pretty damn proud of myself for being, this valuable to basically create 2 finals teams, like only 8 years later. Like he really did a lot for these teams if you think about it. So, man, shout out Paul George, and it's just crazy. It's so crazy just looking at it, because I mean, frankly, I didn't expect to ever see a finals between Oklahoma City and the Indiana Pacers. Like, if you had asked me, I just wouldn't have thought that would happen. Oklahoma City, yes, I definitely thought they had a chance. Pacers, I did not expect getting to the finals, not even a little bit. So I think this could be an interesting matchup. It's not a big market matchup, right? Like, everyone always gets up for, the Lakers or the Celtics or the Knicks or the Heat or, a big market team like that being in the finals. And we don't really have that this year, but I'm excited for it. I'm very excited to see, how OKC and Indiana match up. I think if Indiana can steal a game on OKC's floor, it becomes a series. But I think if OKC takes the first 2 at home, it might be a wrap. But anything's possible. Indiana has proven pretty much everyone, including myself, wrong thus far. So let's see if they can keep doing it. But I just wanted to make this video talk about just how crazy it is that these NBA trades that happen years prior can have such a big impact on how a team, is constructed, 5, 10, 15 years later. It's just, we see this all the time. It's just, we rarely see a team that or 2 teams that basically trade the same player in the last 10 years, both wind up in the finals and meet each other. It's just a wild occurrence. So that's all I got, guys. I'm going to check you later. Stay safe, stay up, stay blessed, stay humble, handle business, stand on business. Peace out.